I've always gone by the theory that used quality is better than new cheap junk. And I've always used, I've got several of these cable come-alongs. The Chinese made ones, you can get them, 25 to 50 bucks. And they'll do the job, but they are very frustrating. They're just not really well made. There's a lot of aluminum in them. I don't think highly of them, though. I was always looking for something that would do a better job, a little more reliable. Well, I came across a couple of these, of the Wyeth Scott 2-ton come-alongs. These have been around since the 30s. They still make them. And they still make parts for them. So you can just keep rebuilding them. So like these two have been abused, let's say. This one in particular. I think this is a little older than that one. But parts are all interchangeable. This one is missing the hook on the end and the block. This one, the cable's in kind of tough shape. Really nicely made piece of machinery. But I'm going to rebuild them. But I say every part can be ordered. So I have to get another block, another hook, clamps. They do have a special handle. Neither one of these had the handles with them. But there's a handle that goes in that's designed to bend if you overload them. But they're, like I say, available and fairly cheap. So I'm going to buy a couple of handles. I'll have to make a list of parts that I need. Get the parts ordered for them, but they're actually in better shape than I thought. This one I'm going to replace the cable. This cable looks pretty good, though it's broke. These are kind of a special cable. It's the fiber cord cable. Makes a more flexible cable. And it's a 5/16 instead of the later cable. But I ran into this, I used to run a snowplow that had a wing that was cable operated. Well, it was cable, hydraulic over cable. But the wing itself was hung on cable. And the reasoning behind it is, with the fiber core, it's more flexible, goes around pulleys better. It isn't so stiff, and you got to roll her up. You can't have it real stiff. And also, it'll take a little bit of shock, because when the weight hits it, it compresses that fiber core and gives it a little bit of give to it, more than what a solid cable would. So I found that out on that wing, because when I had to replace the wing cable one time, the only cable I could get was a solid one. Well, that didn't last very long. It takes that fiber core. But I'll replace this one and use the remnants, if they aren't busted up too bad, which they shouldn't be when you get down in there. Make some short, like 4-foot slings. But this cable I think is fine. Just need the ends for it. This is evidently a little bit newer than this one. Though I don't have any idea what year they are. Kind of hard to tell because, like I say, they didn't change. Or they change a little. There's different models. But they're all used the same basic frame, same ratchet gear. The drum on the newer ones is a welded steel instead of the cast. But they can be retrofit. But all the bushings, all the rivets, everything can be replaced. But these are in pretty good shape. So I don't think I'll have to do a heck of a lot to them. But I'll get some spare parts to have on hand. I got them for $100 a piece. New ones sell for around $300. Prices can vary. I've seen them higher, I've seen them lower. There's a Japanese or a Chinese knockoff that looks identical to them that sells for about half that price, around 150. But there again, you know, it's one of them deals where the Chinese can make good stuff. They simply choose not to. It's more profitable to make something a little bit cheaper. These are heavy duty. I like them. That's the kind of thing that lasts a lifetime. These things are good for about 5 to 10 years. Then they kind of turn to junk. Nice to have a pair of them. But I'll rebuild them. So, like I said, I put this one into service real quick. Just got to get a handle. Actually, I could make a wood handle that would probably serve the same function. You know, that would break at about the stress level that they're designed to take. Beautifully made. But these are the Wyeth Scott. More power puller. Good looking tool. But I'll get back to you after I get them in service. But I need one of these, a couple of these, well, 4 or 5 of these because I want to make some slings out of this old cable. And a replacement cable, and I think 3 ends. But I'll make up my shopping list. Good company, small company. Been around for years, though how long they'll be around is hard to say, because when the Chinese come in and sell a very similar product for half the price, that's tough. But like I say, it's going to have good used American quality than new Chinese junk.